This is the 2025 Honda Pilot Sport. You won't believe what you get for the sticker price. Hey everybody, it's Tom from Vehicle Visionary. I hope you're having a great day. Today I'm at Holmes Honda in Bossier City, Louisiana. For those of you who don't want to travel to the Auto Mall, to Burt Coons, to the craziness that area is, this is a great option for you. If you live in Benton or Houghton, North Bossier, even South Bossier, this is where you need to come. So if you want to know more about this particular model, check out the link down in the description of the video. The exterior color is radiant red, and we'll start by taking a look here at the front end. LED daytime running lights, and you'll also find the LED fog lights down there on the lower portion of the front end. For those of you who are saying, you know what, Tom, I really was thinking about buying a CR-V, but it doesn't have fog lights. A lot of you talk about how that's a big thing for you. Well, you definitely have the fog lights here, especially if you're looking for something that's maybe a little bit more recently redesigned than the Passport. And we'll find our large active air curtains right here. That allows air to flow through the front end. That's going to improve your aerodynamics and give you better gas mileage. Even with a mid-size SUV, yes, you can still achieve some decent gas mileage. And as far as your safety features go, you have Honda Sensing. That's adaptive cruise control, collision mitigation braking, lane keeping assist, road departure mitigation, and traffic jam assist. Now, you can order any trim level of the Honda Pilot with all-wheel drive. Front-wheel drive or all-wheel drive is available. Just depends on what your preference is. In this particular case, let's take a look at what we have with our tire and wheel size. We're looking at 255 on the width, so a pretty wide tire, a good bit of tread on the ground. That's a good thing. A 50 series sidewall, and those wheels are 20 inches. You also have a spare tire located underneath the rear of the vehicle. If you want to know how to get that out from underneath the vehicle and put it back, I have a video on that. So just search through my videos, you'll find it. Now, let's talk about what we have here with our side view mirrors. I know you're not going to see everything that you want here, but don't forget we're talking about the lowest trim level. So they are manually folding, as you can see. They're power adjustable, and you have blind spot monitoring built in. Another great safety feature that I know is very helpful and something a lot of you are seeking out. Here is the remote. You can see what all is here. The coveted remote start right there. Can't blame you for wanting that, but there that is. It does have the walk-away feature. It is a proximity key, so good to know. Roof rails up top. You can get the crossbars and help increase your cargo capacity that much more. Here on the rear, we finish things off with the rear roof spoiler. And if you've ever wondered, why is there a rear roof spoiler? Not only does it look good cosmetically, because it just wouldn't look the same if you didn't have this right here. And when you're driving down the road, it channels air over the back window. That keeps this back window nice and clean. When you do need to clean it off, you have your rear window wiper right there. And a very nice modern look. At least that's what I think. The only thing that I think should maybe be a little different, you have gloss black here with the trim piece. Maybe do a lighter color, maybe more of a gray finish with that Pilot logo. If you are anti-turbocharger, I have good news for you. This is a naturally aspirated 3.5 liter dual overhead cam V6. It makes 285 horsepower, and the torque comes in at 262. It's all mated to a 10-speed automatic transmission. And I don't know how well you can see this, but I'll give you the numbers just in case. Here are your MPGs: 19 city, 27 highway, 22 combined, and 4.5 gallons of gas per every 100 miles driven. And if you're curious to know, one of the things I like to give in my video that a lot of people don't is the gas tank size, and in this case, it's 18.5 gallons. Regardless of trim level, if you plan to tow with your Pilot, if you go front-wheel drive, you can tow 3,500 pounds. If you go all-wheel drive, you can tow 5,000 pounds. And here on the Sport trim level, you have a manually opening tailgate. However, as you can see, I didn't open it very far before the dampening took over and went ahead and opened the rest of the way by itself. Thanks to the struts right here, that helps out. So if you're curious about that, there is an answer to a question, and I did want to go underneath here and show you there is the spare tire. So again, like I said, I have a video that will tell you how to gain access to that if you need it. Plenty of space back here, 18.6 up to 86.5 up to 87 cubic feet, depending on how you configure everything. And let me move the cover out of the way here, just so I can show you that you have not only extra space underneath the floor right here for additional storage, but this is a two-sided floor. You have the plastic side right there or the carpeted side, and all you have to do is take this out and flip it over. It's kind of hard to do one-handed, but if you need to haul something back here, you can flip it over like I've done now, from the carpeted side to the plastic side. That way, if you're hauling something that could potentially get the carpet dirty or stain it, you can eliminate that problem this way. A little bit of space also located right here, so that's nice to have. And we'll also find, well, a little more space right there. Very easy to deal with as far as how you raise and lower these seats to maximize cargo capacity as well. And don't worry, I'm going to show you how to maximize cargo space, but I wanted to answer a very common question I've received, which is, do these rear seats recline? And you can see by the seat over here on the right-hand side that yes, they do. That's reclined all the way back. So you'll use the release right here to take care of that. Now, there is an important trick I want to tell you about here. Watch what I do right here. I'm going to make sure that this Velcro tab is Velcroed down right here. Why is that? Otherwise, this release can flop all the way up there, and I can reach that. I have to stretch out just a little bit, but for some people that might be a little more challenging than it is for me. So make sure that when you do lower these seats, that you Velcro everything together right there so that the tab is where it should be, or the release is where it should be. And as far as your middle row seats, first of all, we'll use this lever to lower the outboard seats. Now, you have the seat right here in the middle. We'll pull on the release right there, and that lowers that. And obviously, you do the same thing as what I did with this seat over on the other side. If you're wondering, no, the Sport trim level does not have the removable middle seat right here. That starts on the EXL trim level and then is on every trim level above. Let's talk about what your second and third row passengers are going to find. A lot of space with the armrest for these rear doors, and the upper and the lower door bins. The lower door bin right there has some additional space, and then we have some space here and a couple of cup holders right here. And when it comes to leg room for your third row passengers, these outboard seats do slide back and forth, so that's nice to know. Now that middle seat right there doesn't move, so just something to think about. And a question that I've received in the past, apparently a lot of people who do what I do on YouTube only get into the third row from the left hand or driver's side over there. Well, you can do it from either side with pretty much any vehicle that has a third row. So there's how we do that. Let's hop into the back seat and see exactly how much space we have. Now, keep in mind, this is minimized leg space. I'll show you maximized in just a second here. There's your cup holders and the air conditioning vent. Now, let's slide on over here and see what the increased leg space looks like. So, quite a bit of difference. You can see where the third row or the second row seat is right here compared to what we have in the front. Quite a few inches of additional space. So that's helpful as far as that goes. Now, what happens if the middle row passengers forget about the third row passengers? Well, no big deal. All they have to do is push that button right there and the seat gets up and out of the way. Now, if for some reason the battery has died, there is a manual release that accomplishes the same thing. If you're wondering about how to reposition these middle seats, here's the release. For doing that, you just pull up on that and you can move the seats back and forth. And we'll take a quick look here at what we have in this area. We have the rear seat pockets on the back of both seats and the air conditioning vents. Something I know is very important to a lot of people. So you obviously have second and third row air conditioning vents. That is helpful, and a couple of USB options right there. Now, this model does not have a sunroof, so for those of you who don't want a sunroof, you can order without it. That's useful to know that that is an available situation, available option. I know for me, I don't like having a sunroof. Some people do. If you come into Holmes Honda Bossier City and you want to buy this 2025 Honda Pilot Sport, what will it cost you? $41,750. let's see what else you get for the price. You're going to have a little more space with the armrests. Again, more space with the upper and the lower door bins. And I do like the fact that Honda makes use of the available space right here. A lot of automakers not doing that. So it's nice to have that additional space, your typical space down here with the glove box. And as far as the seats go, the driver and the passenger seats are heated and they are power adjustable. You'll find lumbar support on the driver's seat. And let's see what you get on the driver's side door. Controls for your side view mirrors right here. Your lock and unlock buttons. You can lock all 4 windows right there, and you'll have all your controls here for your power windows. If you want to attempt a burnout with your Pilot and impress your friends, or maybe make them think you just don't care about your vehicle, I don't know, whichever one, but you can turn traction control off and attempt a front wheel drive burnout. And we also have the release right here that allows for adjusting the tilt and telescopically adjustable steering wheel. Steering wheel mounted controls, you'll have everything over here for your cruise control. And then right here, you can scroll through a lot of different information. All I'm doing is scrolling with the wheel right there. And if I want to select something, I just push on that, and that allows me to go in, depending on what I want to see. And then we can hit home, that home button right there, and go back out and get back to the menu and see what else we might want to know about. Steering wheel mounted paddle shifters as well. We'll find over here the headlight control for turning your fog lights on and off. And there's actually a third function for this lever. Some people act as if there's a Surgeon General's warning that says using your blinkers may be hazardous to your health. It's okay. If you made it to this point in the video, you're welcome to laugh. You might as well. Thanks for making it to this point, by the way. And right here, I can't really say anything sarcastic about that because people do actually use their front and rear window wipers. And your instrument cluster, we've really already taken a look at that, but you can see what we have here. Your digital speedometer and your your analog tach and speedometer over here. I wonder if we could make that 140 miles per hour. I think I'll leave that for another day. And in this particular case, for those who are saying, Tom, it's time for a new vehicle. I know there's more technology in these new vehicles today than there has ever been before, but I want something that's very simple to learn and use. This is it, the 7-inch touchscreen. There's enough technology here to do what you need to do, but it's not an overload. Not that the 9-inch screen that's also available on these Pilots is difficult to deal with, but for the minimalist out there, hey, that works really well. And that flickering effect you see is not really happening. That's just from looking through the lens of my camera, so don't worry about that. You'll have some old school technology here as well. We have the knob for controlling the radio, the volume, turning that on and off, and surfing through the stations right there. So all of that's going to be there, and some one-touch features right here, one-touch buttons. I probably don't need to tell you too much about what is there. And you can pair your smartphone. You have Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. If you want to use that, you can. Dual zone climate control, and here is where we turn the heated seats on and off. I still need to leave those off. It is not nearly cool enough to use them just yet. And how about everything right here? We have our USB options and a 12-volt. By the way, going back to our air conditioning setup, if you want to adjust what's going on in the rear, just push that button right there, and then you can do that. It is single zone in the rear, but ultimately there are 3 zones of climate control. We'll find our push button shifter right here. For those of you who are fans of the push button shifter, well, that's good news. I know some people don't like it so much, but if you had a regular conventional style shifter right here, it would literally be in the way of the cup holders right there if you pull it back to drive. But just something that's there. I've had people talk about that before and how they like having this area as clean as it is because of the push button shifter, because it does make it easier to reach over and grab your drink when you need to. And here is our drive mode selector. Speaking of that, what are the driving modes? Well, let's go through those. We start with normal. There's Econ. You have snow mode. You also have your tow mode and sport mode. So if you're going to try that front wheel drive burnout, make sure to go into sport mode. And there's where you turn your auto stop start feature on or off, depending on your personal preference, and power parking brake and brake hold mode. Plenty of room here with the armrest that doubles as the lid for the center console. We'll also find a lot of room within the center console. And how about your upper console? I know a lot of people like to see that and see what is here. So there you go. You can see that. You do have that handy dandy sunglass holder that a lot of vehicles don't seem to have anymore. And we'll get out on the road for a quick test drive. A comfortable ride quality with the Pilot. Very enjoyable to drive. The seats themselves seem to be nice and comfortable. You do have the cloth seats, but I think they do the job just fine. They seem very comfortable. Long term, it's hard to say, but I think you would be in good shape. Most people drive 2 or 3 hours and get out and stretch their legs. I think these seats would do just fine where that's concerned. And the lumbar support works very well here for the driver's side. As I mentioned, you do have that on the driver's side. An easy vehicle to maneuver around as well. That's always a good thing. Even with a mid-size SUV, you have a nice tight turning radius, so that's helpful as well. One thing that is a very common question I've received in my videos, I'm 5'10". I have a lot of room to grow as far as space goes, if that makes sense. A lot of room to change things around and make myself as comfortable as possible. But with all the space I have, the way I can adjust everything with the seat and the steering wheel, I can say that somebody who is well in excess of 6 feet tall would have no problem adjusting things and being very comfortable here in the driver's seat or in the passenger seat over there. So that's always a good thing to know. I know a lot of people ask about that. Easy to see out of too, but when you need it, you have that blind spot monitoring in your side view mirrors to help out. But overall, it is very easy to see out of, especially with these nice tall windows. That makes a big difference. Large windows, good thing. Gas pedal and brake pedal, very manageable. I like that. Obviously, you don't have to deal with turbo lag because there is no turbo. That's one reason why so many people are anti-turbo. I don't know, there's other reasons beyond that, but one way or another, you have the benefit of a naturally aspirated engine. That seems to be important for a lot of you based on comments you leave on my videos. And I like the fact that the technology as far as Honda sensing goes is not overly aggressive. I know we've seen that in some of the older Honda models. In this case, I don't get that. With lane keeping assist and all of that, it doesn't seem to be a problem. So that's nice to know. Overall, a very well-rounded vehicle, easy technology to learn and use. This is definitely a great vehicle. You get a lot for the price. One more thing I did want to cover, acceleration. While it's not neck-snapping performance, the Pilot seems to do very well getting down the road when you need to accelerate, when you need to get up to higher speeds to merge into traffic or whatever the situation is. That's not a problem. And that's one of the benefits to having that easy-to-manage gas pedal. And for the sake of your passengers, you don't have a difficult to learn and adjust to, we'll say, brake pedal that's overly aggressive. And as far as the highlights go, that is what you get for the sticker price on this 2025 Honda Pilot Sport. In my opinion, I don't think it's too bad in a day and age where so many vehicles are dramatically overpriced. So tell me what your thoughts are on this model. Remember to check out that link down in the description of the video if you want to come in and buy this Pilot or check out anything else they have here at Holmes Honda Bossier City. I do want to say a special thanks to my friends at the dealership for loaning me this Pilot for the day, and a special thanks to all of you for being kind enough to give me the opportunity to give you a vision for your next vehicle. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to hit the like button. That helps me out a lot. Make sure to subscribe. That way you don't miss any future videos. And if you would like to learn about additional vehicles you may wish to consider purchasing, check out the video that's on the screen right now, and I'll see you there.